Yeah, that's what I was thinking, and you just do it back and forth.
Yeah, that's right. But the next picture I sent you, did I not send it?
Now, I don't know. I see a picture of... Hold on.
Yeah, there's one more below it.
Oh, yeah.
That's Stephen and his daughter Natalie, our granddaughter.
I see a little Diane in there.
Yeah, there is a little in there. Yeah, I think so. It's fun. He's up at New Jersey Motorsports Park. He really likes it. They just repaved the entire racetrack. And he says, oh, it's fantastic. I mean, the grip is unbelievable. But he's done a lot of this, but for the years, you know, while he's been doing more and more and visiting more places and going farther away and everything else, she's been growing up. Well, now she's old enough to, you know, this is the first time he's taken her with him. And they're camping out there on the grounds, which is often what they do, and I'm sure he'd tip her out for at least some parade laps on the racetrack. But it's neat. He rides bikes with her a lot. He's done plenty of daddy dates years ago when she was real young, and I've got a great picture here somewhere I'll share with you. She's sitting on his lap when she was real little, and he's reading to her. They're really very close. It's great to see.
Good, that's great. I definitely see Diane there.
Yeah, definitely. Well, her other grandmother is slender and has. Actually, she looks very young. In years past, when we first met Erica, I guess, 15 years ago or whatever, she'd go places with her mom, and people would say, "Is this your sister?" I mean, and they weren't kids. So anyway, so she's got those genes also in her background too, which she's really starting to grow up now. I think it's a great picture, very natural smile, and they're having a great time together, and like they always do.
It is. I could tell they were camping. It looks like the tent there.
Yep, that's exactly right. In fact, here, there's another picture that he sent. As part of it, it's kind of neat. You can see, I couldn't figure out where he was because there wasn't enough background for me to pick out. You know, I don't know all the places that well, but here's one I'll share with you. And then his race car. Oops, that is. I put it in dictate mode, and so now as fast as I can erase it, it's putting more words in there. I got this thing under control now. Yeah. Here's his tent and a tent in the back. He's got a little pump tent, but then he's got a little pop-up, which you can use to pull your car under if it's raining and fix things. And he drives to the track on street tires, but he pulls a little trailer behind it that he built himself, and then on there he's got his 4 race tires and then extra supplies, batteries and some tools and all that kind of stuff. And then when he gets to the track, he's got brakes that allow for really quick swapping of the pads. He puts a different type of pad in, but leaves the same rotors on for the track.
Do a lot of guys tow their cars?
Some do at the higher end. He and his buddies are always talking about buying a Mazda C50, which is an SUV, being able to tow the car. But he's driven this thing all over. K4SO.
KCYU.
I mean, he's taken it out to, down to Texas, down to Georgia. Never done Watkins Glen yet in upstate New York. That's a very famous track. He wants to visit that.
Oh, been there.
Yep, I've never been there. A guy that I worked with at my very first job was a paddock marshal up there. He drove an Alfa Romeo, and he used to tell, Watkins Glen stories. His famous track. He likes Road Atlanta. He likes something in the Americas. That one's in Texas. He likes this New Jersey Motorsports Park for a number of reasons. I think this is a more technical track without a super long straightaway. So having a moderate powered car, the whole trick here is driving it in such a way that you don't slow down. in the corners, you carry your momentum there, and you don't have to go as fast on the straightaways if they're not real long to be turn very competitive times because the handling is so good on these momentum cars.
Oh, good question. It's so nice to see that you're doing stuff like that. That's neat. Watkins Glen, we had a opportunity to spray paint a car for Ford Movement there. And that was my whole... I didn't get to see any racing there, but that track was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was a big fan also of Virginia International Raceway. He liked VIR a lot. There's a gray ND Miata, the same model as Steven has. Well, I think it's a little bit newer. That was at the... I sent him that picture. That was at the Hamfest today. He knew the color, of course. There's only a limited number of colors. He knows a lot about Miatas, and he said, "This is a good color, but it's not my favorite."
That's white.
Yeah, well, he likes the white one. Plus, he's put a, Thunderbolt. New Jersey Motorsports Park, Thunderbolt, one of my favorites. Fresh pavement as of last summer. Feels amazing. Yeah, he's put a matte or a satin. Almost a matte. No, it's more like a satin clear coat over film over the entire car, his entire car, and it really makes it really classy looking, and it's unique.
Now, is it sheet plastic or is it spray paint?
Oh no, it's cheap plastic that you stretch on. That's what he did for a number of years. Was put protective film on cars.
Oh yeah, we used all that stuff for in the Cadillac store, and the BMW store, and Jag store, and the BMW store. I say BMW, Volvo.
Oh yeah, he did. It'd be fun to ask him. He went out to look at one Ferrari that was a $4 million car, and I thought, I'd take out the knife to like cut the stuff, and I'd probably just have a heart attack. I'm afraid I'm going to scratch the paint. But I don't know if he did that one, but it would be interesting to know. He did a lot of Lamborghinis, Porsches, like 100,000 and up. And they did. And he did his own car, which is not a $100,000 car, obviously, a $30,000, $35,000 car. He did Matthew's car for him too. He's got a Civic, but just put the clear protective stuff on it. Shiny. It looks like a good wax job. But they did. They had a deal, I think, with the Mini, the Cooper, the Mini dealer down there, and they basically put it on at least the front. They put that on all of them. And if you really press the salesman, I guess you could get him to strip it off and not make you pay for it. But it was so popular, pretty much everybody took it anyway.
That was on, I told you this, that was on the motorhome, too, the front of the motorhome, and it's a pretty popular thing to do, because they take a beating.
Oh, yeah.
But this is not the 3M version, and it's almost impossible to get off. And I had mold underneath it, on part of just above the grill. And what a pain it was to get that off. I had two people spend all day and got a piece off that was maybe... motorhome, say, 6 feet, and 6'5", maybe 2 feet. It took them all day to get that off. All day.
Wow, well, at his other shop where he worked for 8 years, they used Excel, E-X-C-E-L, I remember that. And I don't know what he's using where he is now. He's taught the guys to do stuff, and he's doing some other... They do some window tinting, but good stuff. I mean, not crappy stuff. Stuff that has real UV protection and all that stuff in it, and real effective heat blocking. But anyway, I think it's a different brand he's working with now. But of course, you have a big laser. Yeah, I guess it's laser cutter, and you've got files, and it cuts the big pieces out in shape for you where you start.
Well, and some stuff is much better than others. But this stuff, whatever they put on the motorhome that I've got, oh my God, what a pain. And the parts that are scratched, from just wear and tear, being where they're at in front of the motorhome, which is a big flat target. There's no way to fix that. There's no way to get around that scratch. The only thing I found was I tell people this and they cringe, but it's just if you spray it with a clear coat, and just a Krylon or something like that, cheap, inexpensive clear coat, it'll hide a lot of the scratches. But it doesn't last very long, so it's a bit of a pain. It certainly would not be worth taking it all off in front of the motorhome. It's only on the front. It would cost you an arm and a leg.
Yeah. They, like I say, they concentrated on cars that were generally, and they did a lot of full wrap too, but at high-end cars, and so they could get it back off. I mean, they guaranteed if they had a certain guarantee for a number of years, and they could get it back off without any damage to the paint or anything else. I mean, it didn't just come off, but it not like you were describing. And of course, they applied it. It was interesting. They sprayed like soapy water, a little bit of soap. I mean, they don't just throw a little in. They measured it all out and everything. But spray bottles underneath there, so they can lay it out and move it around, and then squeegee every last little bit of moisture and any bubbles. I mean, he was really good at it. And they would, they take like the headlights off, take the side markers off, and fold it into all those places. And there was a certain amount of stretch applied to some and more than others. And certain cars, they knew how to do. Particular cars had particularly bad or good areas and stuff, and what to do about it. He got to be a real expert. He went to the national convention for this material and won a couple of, they had guys like teams do cars on site, and they had judges and stuff. And he just did a really good job with it, that's kind of the way he works.
Yeah, I think that stuff has come a long way since back then, but. I hear a lot of people are using it. We also put wraps on cars that were advertising, and that was, we had a couple guys that would do that, detailers that were pretty good at it, which was a completely different material than we had when we first started. This is back in 2004, 2003 maybe, in the BMW. It started out, we started offering it in the BMW store, the Cadillac store, the Volvo store, and the Jag store. And it looked great for a while. And then it was, I think it seemed to be a lot thicker than it does today. Today it seems to be very thin. This stuff seems to be pretty thick, or seemed to be pretty thick comparatively. But anyway, I'm sure they've come a long way.
Yeah, they have, and he saw it in the time he was directly in that business. Then he got out of it a little bit and got into another thing for a brief time, about a year, I guess. It was mostly protective film for windshields and stuff. And I guess they did some tinting or something. He was asked to sort of grow the business, and he does great working with other people and showing them how to use it and how to market it, but there was a lot of sales forecasting and a lot of paperwork, and that's just not his thing. So it didn't work out. But anyway, he's on to another place where he's enjoying what he's doing. I need to find he did a couple of really cool cars where he used to work, or they did them in the shop there. I don't know that he did them in each case, but one was a GT40 in 2016, GT40, which is just like a dark gray metallic with white stripes. Absolutely stunning. K4SL.
KC1U.
And the other was a 1967. It was a maroon 1967 GTO, and that was something.
It's amazing what you can do with a few bucks.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, they looked real good. And these people, of course, were trying to protect these cars for somewhat different reasons, given what they were, but so that they could drive them. I mean, this is the thing. Rather than just keep them as a collector's thing or put them in the garage and as an investment, they wanted to go drive them. And you could protect the paint. I mean, somebody throws a big piece of gravel up. I mean, really big. There's only so much you could do, but but it really protected it, the fronts of mirrors. I mean, even without a full wrap, they would put like a bra on the front, you know, and then the fronts of the mirrors, the rocker panels, and right in the front of the rear wheel wells. And then they would expect, in fact, some of them, they'd expect to have multiple layers. They just come in and take one layer off, and it looks like brand new again, and you start over.
Yeah, just like my grandmother's living room.
There you go. We're like spread to buy Scotty. Always leaves protective plastic on stuff, like the manufacturing plastic when you get a, well, like you know, the control area maybe on a microwave where you've got to clear over the display or something. He tends to leave that stuff stuck on there. I'm like, I know you're protecting it, but it looks so crappy in the meantime. Just peel it off. It's supposed to on there so that while they're building this thing, they don't scratch it before they put it in the box. But when you get it, you're allowed to take it off.
I'm laughing because when I bought the motorhome, we went through, it took about 2 hours to go through and take off all the stickers, all the clear film on the microwave, on the backup camera screen, you name it, and on the doors about warnings or this or that. He left every single sticker on there. Oh my God, what a pain. And it just, we laughed every time we found a new one. Oh, look at this one. Underneath the toilet seat. Underneath the toilet seat, there was a label he left on there.
Oh, it's funny. It is funny. I mean, well, here's the thing. For you, like if I was buying it and I got it, even though it's a pain to buy them all, I think it was great because now I get to start over just like new. But when I get them, I'm not that tough on them. It's not like I've never scratched something by accident, but I don't just tend to beat things up, so I can take those things off and they just don't get scratched, and they look like they're supposed to. They look like a brand new piece of plastic until I get rid of them. Anyway,
warning: door may close on fingers.
Right.
No kidding.
Oh my goodness, that's funny. Well, yeah, not a toy. You know, plastic bag, not a toy. It's got funny though. I was hassling about it. Finally, he says, you notice anything different in the shack? I'm like looking around. There's a lot of stuff. You know, we've been working there for quite a while. And I said, oh, you took the plastic off. He goes, yeah, I did that for you. We're laughing.
Are we ever going to get
today,
on the air?
What's that?
Are we ever going to get him on the air?
Yes, we will. Honest, we will. I've been bugging him. He says, oh yeah. And the funny thing is, once we get him started, believe me, there's no stopping him. He never met somebody he didn't know or engage. You know, he's one of those guys when a server, anybody in a store, all the front desk receptionists, oh, we all know Scott, you know. He's just always doing stuff like that. And so, friendly. I mean, it's not, but once we get him going, believe me, you'll have to be careful what band you're on or something. And you'll enjoy it. I'm just kidding about it. But, so tonight, earlier this evening, late this afternoon, call up, he's having a couple of problems, which happened. But I got it going on 6 meters. We tuned up a 6-meter amp, and he worked stations in the Azores. And where else did he work? Somewhere else in Portugal. That's not that difficult, but the band has just not been open this season yet. Over toward Europe, or at least that's considered Africa, at least the Azores, I guess. But just wasn't making it over there. And he's only worked in the South. And he did not have one of his Moxons aimed in the attic, aiming over to Europe yet. I said, get that thing turned around tonight, because we may get a repeat tomorrow. I don't know, but it's so amazing. May was really poor. Just wasn't much propagation at all. And the calendar turns to June, and on the very first day, we get the kind of thing I would have expected somewhere along the line, or several times, in the month of May. Like it knows what day it is, what month it is.
You know, I'm sitting here listening to you, and it reminds me of when Sarah was little, she had a friend, an invisible friend called Jamie. I'm beginning to wonder.
Oh, I know. I told him that. I said, Scott, you got to get this. Get both mics hooked up and get on the air. I said, you don't have any trouble talking to people. The techniques involved are actually simpler than